we talked about two of these, like this one. So this one has an anterior side and a posterior side. And with this one, he said that the patient has to hold it, right? Hold it, and that's true, because you want him to hold it this way. Because if he bites here, it's going to flatten out, and it's going to be horizontal, right? So that's why he said they need to hold it, the arms. But he doesn't have arms, so we have one like this that is angled up, and then we put some padding in here so that he's not biting down so far. So we're going to be using this one. This one can be used, and you can use it on real people, but they have to hold it like that. This one, they don't have, they can bite down. Can I get a film? Is there a film back there? Okay. No, I'll just use it without a film. So this one, you put the film in here in the slot. Again, dot in the slot, and then you horizontal angulation. You go like this, and this side is for the anterior. Horizontal angulation, you go in like this, and then have him bite down. So this one you can have him bite down because it has this. What's the angulation for here? On the mandibular, it's 5, 10, 15, 20. Bring the 20 up. 20, 30, 40, 50. So this is 40. So 40 would be over here. So if you can look at here, there's all the numbers, and there's a line here. So you don't have to guess. So this is 0, and you want it to be positive because you're on the maxillary. So positive, even without looking here, positive would be like this, right? Negative would be what? Like this. So if 0 is here, positive is always with this pointing positive down. Okay, so what is that? 20, 30, 40. So I look at 40, that's 40 degrees. I'm looking here, it's 40. So you don't even have to guess. And that's assuming he's straight. Is he straight? No. He's kind of up like this, right? So he should be more. What are the controls here? Over here?
Yeah. I don't think it's on.
Not on? Okay, well, we'll leave it like this. He should be up more. So 20, 30, 40. He's back down like this a little. So maybe that's like 5 or 10. So I'm going to go 5 or 10 degrees more. So let's say 50. So that's that. That's it. You don't want to be too low because you're going to miss the film. You don't want to be too high because you're going to miss the film. So you want to look at the edge. The edge of the film is over here. So the edge of this cone should cover, if you use something straight like this, it should cover the edge of the film. Like that. So you can always use something like this, a pen or a stick or your finger to kind of make sure you're covering the edges of the film. Okay? With the ring, you didn't have to do that. But this one, you can use the pen. You can use a pen. So that's covering here. What if I did this? Okay, it's way over here. The film is here, right? So you know this has to come more this way, and maybe even more like that. Okay, and again, I talked about the horizontal angulation. It should be like this, not like this, right? Or not like this. It should be horizontally, it should be like this, and then 40 degrees. And again, bridge of the nose, if you forget, you can just use that as a guideline. That's a good guideline. Okay, and you again expose the film just like you would normally. That's incisor. Canine, again, you would open, horizontal angulation, you go in like this, canine, and then rotate, and then have him bite on that. Canine, again, horizontal angulation, you would come over here. What's the angulation? What's the degrees? 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. So about 50. So 50 is about here. That's the angulation for that. Okay? Again, you want to make sure you're not too low or too high and not too on the side. You want to make sure the film is within this circle. But without a ring and you guys are not experienced, it's going to be hard. You're going to be like, I'm not sure, but you want to make sure you look at the edges of this and make sure you're covering the film. Okay, if I go like this, I'm not covering the film. The bottom of the film's here. That's going to cone cut. If I go like this, the bottom of the film's here. You're too low. You're going to cone cut the top of the film. Okay? So, incisor, canine, canine, turn it around, mandibular, incisor, canine, canine. And again, we have this padding here because if we didn't have it and the teeth touch all the way to the snap array, when you angle it, you're going to miss the incisal edge. It's not going to be on the film. So with this here, the incisal edge will be on the film. Okay? So they kind of designed this wrong. They should have put a padding here. But we did that. In real life, could we do this? No, because this is all cardboard. They'd have to be, you can't just sterilize this, you got to throw it away. So in real life, we maybe put cotton rolls over here. That's another way. So this side is the anterior, this side is the posterior. Anterior, incisor, canine, canine. Turn it upside down. Incisor, canine, canine. Okay? So the negative angulation, what would this be? Angulation for the canine, 5, 10, 15, 20. So this would be 20 negative. So underneath, that's 20, like that. Horizontal angulation should be like in line with this. So about like that. What if I did incisor? What's the angulation for the incisor? Negative 5, 10, 15. So 15 would be about here. Like that. Okay? Posterior, again, you have it here. Let me use this one. So I drew a line here. That's where the middle of the film is. So when you're putting it in, you want to make sure the middle of the film is where? Either on the second premolar or the second molar, right? So this would be, so the way this is going in, this is good for the right side because the fat side is facing the cheek. On this side, if I just put it on this side, is the fat side facing the cheek? No, so I would have to turn it this way. So now, for the left side, this is the correct way to put the film in. Fat side is next to the cheek. And again, the line, that's where the middle of the film is. That should be centered on the second premolar or the second molar. Okay, let's say the second molar. Put the film in. Of course, the film will be in there. Again, you want to get the horizontal angulation. The horizontal angulation would be like this, not like this, right? Or not like this. So this line here of teeth should line up with this part here of the cone. Okay, this here should line up with the side. So if I put this here, that's about the correct horizontal angulation. And then what's the angulation down here for the molar, mandibular molar? Minus 5. So minus would be, that's 0, minus 5 would be like that. Okay, so minus 5, correct horizontal angulation, and then you bring it over here. How do you know you're not cone cutting? He talked about like where the middle of the, or the front edge of the film, and I'm talking about 130, 430, 730, and 1030. So if you look at this here, if this is 12 o'clock right here, and this is 3 o'clock, 130 would be about here, right? 1030 would be about here. 730 would be about there, and 430 down here. So to cover this and make sure you're not cone cutting, if you're doing a mandibular molar, you want to make sure that the 130 is covering this edge right here. So you're just looking at this edge, and that edge should be covered by the 130. So if I put this line at 130, that edge should cover 130. So if you do that, that edge, 130 covering this corner, you're not going to get a cone cut. So I know he talked about the red line and making sure this doesn't go beyond that. But if you just look at 130, that point and this point, the corner, and if they cover, you're fine. Now if this was a maxillary, then this would be, what would it be? Let's say a maxillary molar. 5, 10, 15, 20, bring the 20 up, 20. So it'd be 20 degrees. 20 is like this. So 20, now how do you make sure you don't cone cut? You make sure that the 430, let's say the line here, covers that point. Same thing. You're always looking at this point. So the 430 covers that point. You shouldn't cone cut. If you do the other side, the right side, this side, you're going to bring the cone over. Now, to do the mandibular, you make sure the 1030. Now this was 130, 430, 730, 1030. The 1030 point covers the. So what would it be for a molar? 5 degrees. So 5 degrees, it's about there. So the 1030 covers that point. So 1030 covers that point. So you can even look from behind and make sure the 1030 is covering that point. Okay, that's why we talk about 130, 430, 730, 1030. So on the right hand side, it is 730 and 1030. On the left hand side, we're talking about 130 and 430. So what's the position for the maxillary on this side? Same thing, horizontal angulation, and you want the 730 to cover, and it's what, 20 degrees? So I'm at 20 degrees is here. So you want the 730 to cover that point. Okay, so it might even go through the eye a little bit. That's okay. Have the patient close their eye. But so that's it for the bisection, the angle technique. Positioning of the film is the same. Center, center, center. Where do you center? Only those 4 places, right? Midline, canine, second premolar, second molar. That goes for paralleling technique or bisection angle technique. The only difference is now you're using a different device. The film goes in here, dot in the slot, and for the phosphor plates, the black side facing the cone. The black side facing the cone. You want to do the horizontal technique, go in horizontally, do the anterior horizontally, touch, have them bite on that, and then what is the angulation again for the maxillary? 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30, 40. So 40 degrees. Like that. And then K9 would be 50 degrees, and you'd be over here, right? K9, and then mandibular, you turn it down, incisor. What would be the degrees? 5, 10, 15. So 15 degrees would be about there. I'm looking over here. What about K9? 20. So 20 would be like that. So K9 would be over here, and K9 would be over here. Right? Posterior, 5, 10, 15, 20. Bring the 20 up to the molar. So the molar would be 20. So 20 degrees is like that. 20 and 20 on this side for the molar, and 30 for the premolar, and 30 on this side for the premolar, and 40 for the incisor, and 50 for the canine. 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay? So you know the angulations, now you just got to make sure you don't cone cut. That's the biggest thing, because there's no ring. But if you know where the film is and you kind of use a finger or a pen, something like that, to make sure you're covering, and you want to make sure when you use something like this, like a pen, you go straight like this. Okay? I've seen students do this. Okay? That's not good. I mean, that's not an accurate. You want to go straight. This is where the X-ray beam is coming out, straight like that. Okay, so it would be like, can you hand that over, please? So like if it were longer, this is straight. This is an extension, so straight all the way down. So this would be kind of like that, making it straight. Not like this, so don't just put it, so I've seen, again, students, they put it in like this and then they go like this. No, it's like this. You just put it on like this, and that is an extension of where the cone is, and that has to cover the film like that. Okay. On the bottom, and you can even do it on the side to make sure you're not too far left or right. Yeah? So use these, the ones with the little padding over here, and you have lines drawn, and it's the same, centering and the angulation. Okay, any questions? Okay, you guys can start. Thank you.